Hakim bin Ahmad Zahiruddin. Yes, I have a Nurul. So long name short, you can just call me Hakim. Because to be honest, I'm not too accustomed with the title Mr. J or even Abang. Okay, so in this Zoom room, we are
Yes.
all friends and we are learning from each other. So you can call me Hakim only. So I'm 32 years old, pretty much a lot older than you.
Yes.
And my experience in public relations this year would conclude of 9 years.
Nine
I
years.
started, yes, nine years. I started my career as a public relations executive
Mm-hmm.
in 2014.
Mm-hmm.
That was when I started with Media Prima TV networks, especially.
Mm-hmm.
So TV networks, it consists of all four channels in Media Prima:
Mm-hmm.
TV3, and TV7, 8TV, and TV9.
Oh,
Uh,
okay, yeah.
okay. Then after that, I spent I think around 5 months after that in MPOCC. It's an NGO.
Mm-hmm.
Particularly, it's called Malaysian Palm Oil Certification Council.
Mm-hmm.
So there, well, the main business there is about certifying oil palms, plantations. So everything to do with oil palms, they will get the certificate from MPOCC.
Uh,
And um, since the past 2 years, I started my new journey in Etika Insurance and
ah,
Takaku. So you see the logo there.
yeah, I see that.
Yes.
Obviously.
You're
Yeah,
representing
because I'm not
Etika.
wearing the Etika logo here, so I'm showing that.
Mm. Okay.
Okay, so now that we have known a little bit about you, sir. So before we start with the interview, I want to ask, how is your work today? Is it busy? How is
Very
it?
busy. So today is very busy. So I apologize for replying your text
Uh,
very,
it,
very late, Kai, because you texted me around 10:16 in the morning and I
yeah.
replied to you at 7 p.m.
No, it's fine.
Uh,
It's all fine. It's all fine. It's all, I understand.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so shall we start with the 10
Yes.
questions? Are you ready, sir?
Yes.
Okay,
Inshallah.
so one of our early topics this semester that we are
Mhm.
learning in public relations is ethics. So for the first question, let's come into ethical practices. My first
Okay.
question would be, Hakim, how do you ensure that ethical considerations are integrated, assimilated into your public relations strategies and campaigns?
Okay. Thank you. All right. So okay. So ethics. Okay. So the way a public relation executive or officer implement ethics in our works is actually because as a PR, we are the main communicator of the company. So some public relations will work um, particularly only external communication, and some public relations work internally. So that means there are not really two types of public relations. There are many types of public relations. Some public relations are only writers. Some public relations are only doing internal announcement. Some public relations are only doing external communications that includes of press releases, media engagement, okay, and some public relations do all of it. Okay, so in terms of
Cakap apa tu?
ethics, it is
So,
um,
Apa feedback apa tu?
mandatory. I wouldn't say compulsory. It is mandatory to be ethical in our work because as a true communicator of the company, we have to always communicate truly, or I would say truthfully. Okay, so it has to be
kata macam,
transparent.
what if
Okay,
kita
so
tahu
let's say if
jika
we have
milik
a message that we have to
milik.
cascade down from the management. For example, the company's financial report. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so from the CFO, the Chief Financial Officer,
Mm-hmm.
um, he or she might want to tell the employees that the company is doing good. Okay, it's doing well. The performance is doing well. So
Mm-hmm.
um, we have to get as many information as possible from the CFO's team, and we have to communicate it as it is. So we cannot hide any information that was supposed to cascade down from the CFO. So, for example, right now we are in the month of December. So, of course, the hot topic of all employees
Mm-hmm.
would be how much bonus would we get next year? Uh,
Oh, that's early.
yes, yes, because
Ah,
it depends on which company, their financial, what do you call it, the yearly financial results come out. So some companies, the cutoff date would be in November, some in December, some even in April. So
Mm-hmm.
it depends on the company. So in Ethica, our cutoff financial results would be in November. So it would prorate a bit for December, and they will calculate the bonus that will release in around February or March.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, so that means this is the right time for employees to ask how much would we get for bonus. So
Oh.
as a PR, we cannot hide any information. For example, of course, we know that employees would ask how much bonuses they will get. But
Mm-hmm.
for the sake of our CFO, for example, we cannot hide um, any information. For example, we just put the financial results as in A, B, C, and then D is the bonus part, but we hide that. We cannot do that.
okay.
So being ethical, it means that we have to communicate transparently. Uh,
That's okay.
okay, so that is one example. There are a lot of examples which would take me hours because I am a very talkative person, so I cannot elaborate all. Otherwise, you would have to spend a lecture time with me.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
see, I see. Yeah.
So I see. So in terms of ethical practices, you must be truthful in PR area. But I have another follow-up question. What happens if
Yes.
someone, let's say, doesn't matter, an intern or a professional or a new guy, he breaks
Mhm.
this. He doesn't follow the ethical practices. What do you think will happen to an organization?
Okay. All right. So that depends on where the message is going to. Okay. So for example, if let's say, well, usually we don't entrust um,
Pastinya aku recap
interns
protokol terutama
to
persoalan yang akan
send out a communication message or anything to the external party. So um, we won't let what you call it interns to communicate to the media uh, because because of this error. For example, if with the lack of experience they might have possibly some typos
Mm-hmm.
or maybe um, they have a lack of information.
ah,
So
Yeah.
because of that, there will be some discrepancies of data. There would
Mm-hmm.
be misjudged of words, probably the way they put the sentences.
Mm-hmm.
So that would cause some reputation damage for the company. So because
I
of
see.
that,
Mm-hmm.
we won't let them to handle external parties. So, but then let's say if it happens, your question was if it happens, right? So
yes.
normally we would give them a warning,
Ah,
and then the warning would always come with always cross check with your superior,
ah,
with your senior, okay, the message that you want to communicate. So that's compulsory. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then um, let's say if the message is already out and damage is done, so then there's not much we can do but to apologize to the third
ah.
party, and we would correct with the correct messaging. Ah,
Ah, okay, I see.
yeah, okay.
So
So that is what we call actually direct crisis management. So it's
direct
Direct
because
crisis.
messaging.
we can what you call it manage it in a small scale. So we could just apologize, and what we meant was like that. So it's like,
Ah, okay.
oh, I'm sorry that
Okay.
we have a miscommunication. What we meant was da. Like that lah.
But I think I have a question. If we
Mhm.
want to apologize to our customers, is do we have to actually ask for the higher managements first, or we just say we are apologize for this that happened?
Okay. That we must tell our line manager first. or our superiors first, okay, so that they know that we are taking action. Okay, this is another ethical moment here. Okay, so to be ethical in PR, we must have the communications aligned. Okay,
I see.
so because let's say the customer is here and we are the middle person here, so
Yes.
I know we tend to just apologize to the customer. Hey guys, so sorry. You know what? But well, it's a good practice to be transparent. But
Yeah.
Yes.
also being transparent means that you must tell your superior that, hey, Mister or Mrs. This. I made a mistake and I wanted to apologize to this customer. May I do so? Okay, then your superior will ask you, okay, what kind of messaging that you wanted to deliver. Then you say, okay, I have this drafted. Is it okay? Then, if your manager said okay, then okay, you can proceed.
Okay, I see. So thank you, Hakim. So that explains my questions lah. Alright. So I
No problem.
think that's all for Kaizurin's questions about ethics. And next we will move on to the second questions by Miss Afsa.
Okay.
Okay, hi, Mr. Hakim. So
Yeah, Hakim is fine, but then okay.
sorry. Okay, I have a question regarding the daily tasks and responsibilities of PR professionals. So,
Okay.
what are the key daily tasks and responsibilities that you handle as a PR professional?
Okay. Okay. Daily task. Yeah. Okay, so I think this would be a rather long answer because well, as you know that my first career started in TV3, okay, in Media Prima, and that is the entertainment industry, the media industry. And then when I moved to NGO, that is the apa nama ni, the what you call it, the government, the government sector. Okay, and then now I'm with Etika, that is the financial industry. Right. So all three industries have different tasks. Okay, and it ranges a lot. So, for example, when I was with TV3, my daily task would be to monitor the news, monitor the news so that I wouldn't miss any news or any conspiracy or any conspiracy towards the government or anything, and then also any gossips regarding the celebrities that I am taking care of. Not am was I was taking care of, and then I would say other than that is writing press releases, writing speech text. So press release, speech text are all the same throughout the industry. Any industry you would do the same. So writing is always not really. I wouldn't say writing is number one, but that's pretty much what we do. Okay. So any kinds of writing, speech text, press release, fact sheets, preparing documents for the media. Then I would say what else? What else do we write? Internal announcement. If you are lucky, if you are in touch with, in the department of financial PR, so that includes of investor relations, for example. Investor relations, you would write more about financial results, about annual reports. So those are the things. Okay.
It does give me like a lot of new information that we never had before.
Really?
Yeah.
How long have you guys been studying PR? How long have you guys been studying PR?
Just this semester.
This semester.
Around 8 weeks.
10 weeks?
Yeah, around 8 weeks.
8 weeks.
8 weeks so far.
Yeah,
8
but
weeks, so that means 2 months.
yeah, but including the previous sem, we also learn about public relations, but indirectly. For example, we learn about corporate communications, negotiation communication. So I think that's a part of PR, but it's separated into
Yes.
subjects. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, Sambung.
Okay, so I have one more question.
Okay.
It's regarding public relations campaigns. So how do you measure the success and effectiveness of a public relations campaign? And what metrics do you primarily focus on?
Okay, metrics. Huh? Okay, so so campaigns. All right. So I hope that you are familiar with um, public relations value, or we call it PRV, or have you heard of
No,
advertising value? Not yet.
Not yet.
AVE?
no,
No.
I think for me no. But advertising,
Okay.
I have heard before.
Yes, AVE. Okay. So for me, throughout my experience, uh, how do you call it? I evaluate the effectiveness of a campaign via two methods.
Bodoh.
Okay, so one, of course,
Awak
is
bodoh.
via we have an annual
Serius.
brand survey. That is when
Okay, nanti untuk follow up
we
question,
would carry on a survey
kita income.
to the whole Malaysia to
Sebenarnya
see
kan
where
advertising
is the
value kan
strength of the brand of the company. Okay, so it consists of a lots of questions. So they would answer it truthfully, and we would know how strong is our brand. So, for example, in the insurance and takaful industry, we would see where is Ethica, where is AIA, where is Prudential, where is Allianz, where is Great Eastern, and so forth. Okay, so that is one method. So then, let's say for the whole year, we did a lot of PR initiatives, PR campaigns, for example, for our CSR initiatives, okay, corporate social responsibility. We have for each of the initiatives, we have a public relations initiative as well. So we write press releases, we do media kits. So when we issue the media kits to the media, are the media did the media pick up the story or not? So
Oh,
that is when method number two comes in. Okay, method number two is when we will tabulate the monthly PRV report. Okay, PRV again is public relations value. Okay, so how do we calculate this? Roughly, it is actually for each page a media write about our campaign or our program. Um, there is the value into it. So, for example, the value is like it is commonly um, how do you say it? Compared with the advertising value. Okay, so for example, one page in Berita Harian would cost you 60,000 ringgit, for
mhm.
example. Okay, one page. Okay, one page full color would cost you around 60,000 ringgit for one insertion. So one time of advertisement in Berita Harian, full page, full color would cost you 60,000 ringgit. Okay, so now
60,000.
yes. So in compare with PRV, usually PRV is three times more than the AVE. So from the 60,000, one page would give us 180,000 ringgit of PRV.
Oh,
Okay,
Oh,
so that is how we collect. So let's say one page is 180, and we have how many other articles for that campaign or program? Okay, so when we tabulate all those, we will have the total PRV for the month. So that is how we evaluate our campaign or initiatives or program is successful or not. So it's easy. It's a no-brainer that if
yes.
let's say a program does not have a PRV,
Mm-hmm.
it's a weak campaign.
I see.
So that's how you evaluate lah. Yeah, and also PRV is the metric lah. Just now you asked about the metric.
Mhm.
Mm.
So is that all, Miss Afza? Or do you have any more
Hamzah,
questions?
did I answer your question?
Because that's very,
I
in
know
depth.
there are lots of jargons and a lot of
Yeah.
what you call it
terms.
um new terms for you
Yeah.
guys, but you will learn it.
Yeah.
Eventually, yes.
Yes,
It's
eventually.
it's like it's interesting to hear the words, the terms that we learned, and it's like being used here.
Yes,
Yeah, thank you for answering my questions.
no problem.
Okay, so that's all from Miss Afza. So we move on to the fourth question, which is related to media relations. So Shahid, can you ask Hakim about your question?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, yes, clearly.
So I will ask about media relations.
Okay.
And as we all learn in the class, public relations plays a crucial role in crisis communication.
Okay.
So Can you share with us your successful experience of managing a media crisis and the strategies you employed to handle it since you has experience in the media entertainment in the entertainment industry?
Sorry.
That's funny that you have to pick the entertainment industry because that is the only industry that I have crisis. Yeah, because I've been to three industries, none in the government sector and none in Etika yet.
Hmm.
Inshallah, tak ada. Okay, but in
Inshallah.
TV3, I have a lot of crisis. But then one of the most memorable crisis that I would say is actually during my final year in TV3. I think that was in 2020,
Hmm.
more or less, give or take. 2020 or 2021. It was during COVID. Okay, so well, I suppose that you are familiar with the singing competition Anugerah Juara Lagu.
Yes, yes, very
Yes,
familiar.
Uh,
yes.
all right, because right
Mm.
now they are in the season of semi-final music.
Yes, yes,
Yeah, if you watch TV, but that is it's
a little
fine if you
bit.
don't watch TV. But
Yeah.
okay, so um, it is that very program that gave me that crisis. Give me, well, I thankfully I have the experience of experiencing the crisis. So it happened in 2020 or 2021, give or take. I think it's 2020. So what happened was during semi-final music there are 3 days. Okay,
Mhm.
there will always be 3 days. The week one, week two, and week three. Where week three they will announce the 12 finalists to AGL, right?
Mhm.
Okay, so this crisis happened on week three, on day
Okay.
three. So
Okay.
it was okay. So we were supposed to go live at 9 p.m. after Bulletin Utama, for the day three of semi-final music. So we had our rehearsals with the celebrities during the day, starting 11 a.m. or 10 a.m. until live. Okay, so so what happened was after a few hours of rehearsals, only at 4, Alif Sata. That was the year when Alif Sata what you call it compete in AGL. So
Mhm.
that it was Alif Sata and the locals. So Alif Sata did his rehearsal and he felt unwell. Okay, so since it's all about COVID, so yeah, he got
Yeah.
COVID at 4:30 p.m. Okay,
Yeah.
at 4:30 p.m. And because of that, because he spent the whole day with the production team, the other celebrities, so everyone has to get tested. And that time was when there were no test kits yet. So we have to go
Mm.
PCR, 150 ringgit, 150 ringgit, 150 ringgit
Yes, yes.
per PCR. So
Hmm.
after everyone did their PCR, it was actually around 40%, um, 40% of the crew members and also celebrities were infected by COVID-19, but not because of him. Probably. Oh, by the way, I'm connecting another backup account
Okay.
because my earbud is getting low battery.
All right.
Okay, sure.
Okay.
Okay, right. So, um, so at 4:30, he did his test, his PCR test. So only at 4:30 he notified the production team, and the production team told us that we have to cancel semi-final music day three that night
Mhm.
for 2 weeks because some of them has to go quarantine.
Oh,
Ah,
So
okay, okay, okay.
yeah, and then since our next new slot was Bulletin Utama from 8 to 9,
Mhm.
and so we have to submit the messaging to the public before Bulletin Utama starts. So that is
Oh.
at 6 p.m. So from 4:30 p.m. to 6 p.m. and on a Sunday, I have to work my toot off. Okay,
Okay.
work my toot off to explain to the public why semi-final music has to cancel that day, and
Mhm.
it will be postponed until further notice. Which, of course, we were given 2 weeks what do you call it, quarantine period. So minimum we would postpone the program for 2 weeks, and it could extend to 1 month. So that is when The semi-final music only happened on I think early January, and AJL was in February. Yeah, so it was
Oh,
the only year that AJL was rescheduled later.
I see, I
Yeah.
see.
So during that crunch time between 4:30 to 6 p.m., it was really crucial that I must have all the info related to this crisis. I must have uh, the most important one is an apologetic not letter, announcement or quote. We call it quote
Mm-hmm.
from Ali Sata,
Mm-hmm.
and also an apologetic announcement from the executive producer and also from the CEO. Uh, then, if it's necessary, we would have to, which it was. I have to bring the Bulletin Utama people, reporters, to
Mm-hmm.
our CEO to interview a CEO. So our CEO's messaging was broadcasted through Bulletin Utama. That time, it was around 8:30 p.m. It was broadcasted.
Oh,
Yeah. So during crisis, it's always not pretty. We have to work really, really fast. If we already work fast, we have to work triple fast. Uh, so be ready. If you want to be a PR, you have to be ready with crisis. You cannot run from it.
always. Yeah.
Okay, Shahi. Sorry, it took a long explanation, but yeah, that's what happened.
Yes, we understood, sir. So it must been really hard for you to be there in the situation. So
Well, only Allah knows how many times I banged my head on the desk thinking of the right words because, well, sometimes even though we write a lot,
Mm-hmm.
there will be time where we have what you call it, writer's block. So even though if you were writing your assignments, your theses, or whatever you're writing, you will have writer's block or mental block. So that is when no ideas are pouring in. So
Yeah.
you'll be like,
Oh my
what do I
God.
say? Yeah, you'll be like, redo, tawakal.
I see.
Mm,
I have one more question for you.
okay, is
Uh,
it about crisis also?
it's about media relations.
Okay, I'm
So
having a crisis right now. Okay,
You're having a
so
crisis.
in today's digital age,
okay.
how do you integrate digital media strategies into your public relation campaigns for maximum reach and impact?
Okay. All right. So this one, I think it depends on the company as well. Um, for example, I think I worked more with the digital team in Etika rather than TV3 because TV3 they have their own digital team and they would brainstorm their ideas. They would brainstorm their own campaigns. Okay, so only in Etika, sometimes we would try to have a team. We call it digital team. So digital team would be in charge of the social media accounts of Etika, and they would brainstorm ways for increased talkability of the brand amongst the netizens, amongst the public lah. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so as a PR, we don't normally um, create any digital what do you call it? Digital content. Yeah, digital content for the company because I think most of the company right now, especially big companies, they have a digital team. So I think in the scope of PR, we would call it a social media executive lah. Uh, they must know the basics of public relations, how to maintain good reputation with the customers, with the stakeholders, and all. So basically, it is what PR are doing, but they don't do press releases. They just curate digital content and possibly how do you say it? Engage with influencers, celebrities. So that's their job. Mm.
Oh.
I have a little bit question.
Okay.
Uh, so are social media marketing and content marketing uh, they really the strategies for digital media?
Uh, yes, actually, yes. Well, okay. It depends on how do you put meaning into marketing. Okay, but then basically marketing is what we do to promote our brand. Okay, so it is what I explained just now. So that team would well basically PR would be part under marketing, or sometimes marketing or under brand and comms. So the PR team and the digital team are two different units. Yeah, so PR and the digital team. So but then both of them will work together to produce the digital marketing campaign or content lah. Uh,
I believe we all understand now about media relations, if not all, some. So that's all from me.
okay, thank you, Shahid.
So we have finished with Shai's questions regarding media relations and also digital media. So now we'll move on to Miss Ainil about her question regarding stakeholder engagement. Yep.
Okay.
All right.
So, fair game.
Hi, Adil.
All right, so I have a question regarding stakeholder
Okay.
engagement. So my question is, how important is stakeholder feedback in shaping your communication strategies, and how do you manage and protect the organization's reputation?
Okay. All right. So I think we pretty much covered about protecting the reputation just now. When I explained about crisis, so I will explain more about how important the stakeholder management, the impact of stakeholders to our messaging. Okay. Okay. So stakeholders for a PR is quite vast. So we have two kinds of stakeholders. We have internal and external stakeholders. Okay. So our internal stakeholders, including our management committee. So that is our head of department, our CEO, our chairman, our board of directors. Okay. So those are internals, which means that we will receive some messaging from them, some directions from them. Okay. So they will cascade down to us for us to communicate to the public, which is the external stakeholders. So, not possibly, most of the time, whatever message that we convey to the public, it is messages from them. Okay, so of course, from the well, it's really not difficult. It's too vast to explain about the hierarchy or organizational chart. But basically, we have a head, we have a neck, and we are the body. Oh no, we don't. We're not the body. We are the hands. Okay, we are the hands of a body. Okay, so because we are the first liner, so um, we would execute the message out or in, circulate them and all. So basically, when the message move from up to down, okay, to the body, it is already filtered, and somewhere in the body, for example, if we work for a company that has consumer goods, okay, or services, for example, Takaful Insurance, um, the body would be the product marketing team. Okay, so product marketing team, they would have the whole plan of a product. For example, right now we are promoting Ailindong. Okay, Ailindong uh, is a collaboration between KWSP and Etika and also some other insurance company. So
Mm-hmm.
people can purchase insurance or takaful via KWSP. Okay, and they will just subtract lah. Very yeah, mathematic. They would minus, not minus, deduct. Yes, they
Tidak,
would
yes.
deduct the sum from our account to KWSP. So we don't have to fork out our money to pay for the insurance and Takaful. So that's the product. Okay, and
Yeah.
how would they convey the message to the public? Through us. Okay, so with those curated messages and with the info, specific info of the product, um, that is how we communicate to the public. And then whatever the public says in the social media would be picked up by the digital team that I mentioned earlier. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so
Yeah.
let's say if we have positive feedback, it will be presented to the board,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, the management, so including CEOs and also the board of directors. So that is how the movement of uh, sentiment happens in the whole world, I guess. Yeah, so it
I
is
see.
actually idea would come from the top down out, and then from the netizens or from the public
Mm-hmm.
would cascade up back to the team. So probably some media would call the PR. So we
Mm-hmm.
know we have that info and we would cascade it back out. So if we have complaints from the public, it would go to the digital team and it would cascade back up. So that is how the flow is, and that
Oh.
is how important it is. Lah. So basically, let's say if this idea from the top don't do well in the public, so the public would tell us that, hey, your product sucks. Okay, so then we would know, macam, oh, okay, but we won't tell the management, guys, the product actually sucks. And then no, but then we would screenshot the comment and we just post it. So we won't say it, they would just read it. So that's how we know.
Oh, okay. I see.
All right, thank you, Hakim.
You're
So I
welcome.
think it's very important, right, the feedback from the stakeholders because it affects our communication. So I
Yes.
think that's all for my part.
Yeah, it is actually what keeps the business running. It is how we manage the reputation of the brand, of our brand, to ensure that we have a good a good brand health
Reputation
within the public.
or
Yes,
help.
reputation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright. So that's all, Miss Ainil. So next we'll move on to Mr. Shahrul regarding crisis communication again.
Okay.
Okay, I hope you are ready. Okay.
Having
Uh,
crisis now.
can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
Alright. So my question is about crisis communication, right? Okay. So question is, what steps do you take to prepare for potential crisis, and how do you approach crisis communication to protect the organization reputation?
Okay. All right. So I suppose that every company has their own SOP for crisis. Okay. So but then most of them are the same, which the SOP must come from um, the PR sentiment. For example, we would advise the management if we handle this crisis with care, what would happen to the company, and if we don't, what would happen to the company.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so from then, they would discuss with a lot of departments, including legal. Okay, including legal compliance, right? Compliance. Okay, so basically, legal is the one who would not really draft, but they would check, go through with any lawsuits. Um, yeah, any lawsuits taken towards our company, and then compliance is actually it's like a police. Okay, it's like
Mm-hmm.
a police who would ensure that everyone in the company follows the rules that um, legal upholds. Wow, that's a lot of tough words.
Okay.
Yeah, so basically, that is how it is. So,
Mm-hmm.
and then from there, we would actually create an SOP, okay, an
Mm-hmm.
SOP of, for example, crisis A happens. Does it involve B, brand, reputation? Is it crisis of the building? Is it a crisis of the people? Is it a crisis of IT security? Is it
Oh.
so there are lots of types of crisis here.
Okay.
Okay,
Yep.
so and then from there, it would link to another point. For example, if it is IT, what would we do? Who do
Mm-hmm.
we
Contact.
yes, who do we contact? And if it is reputation, who do we contact? Who do we inform? So it's a lot of process there, and it's really difficult to explain. But then, yeah,
Yeah, kind
you
of.
get the idea that it depends on what type of crisis, and it has its own SOP.
Mm-hmm.
And then from that SOP, we would keep it for future reference. So that if it happens again in the future, we would know which crisis to refer to. because we did it before.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you for your very illuminating answer. Okay, thank you.
Tipu ni.
No, it's okay because we actually learn a lot about crisis. I thought there's just some few kind of crisis actually, but when you have said it like this, it's actually big and there's a lot of
It is big.
branches.
It is big because the branch is non-exhaustive. So for example, if you only have an SOP for IT security, what happens if the building was on fire? Would you implement the SOP for IT security? Would
No,
you
no,
call
no.
MC and it's like, hey MC, bangunan itu bakar lah.
I don't think so.
So
Yeah.
it's like that.
Yeah.
But then I think from that explanation earlier, it is self-explanatory that we do not handle crisis alone.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, as a PR, yes, we would be the main, not main now, because since it is already the new era of digital era, so we have two main medium right now. Okay, two main media lah.
Mm-hmm.
One is the traditional media, which is the PR, and two is the social media. So whatever crisis we have to declare to the public that, guys, we are having a crisis right now, but we don't say that. Okay, we just like
Yeah.
there will be a temporary apa nama tu IT breakdown ke yeah, server down, those kind of things. We would say it,
Mm.
we would report truthfully, but in a safe manner. So,
Okay,
yeah,
so
we don't say to the public, dear public, uh, our main server was exploded. Okay, exploded, so we cannot process your claim. Ah,
yeah.
matilah macam tu.
Yeah. That's kind of macam not appropriate to the customers, the
Yeah.
stakeholders. Yeah.
Mm.
So I think that's all for the crisis communication question. So next
Okay.
we'll move on to Mr. Zulkifli regarding
Okay.
question about trends and emerging practices about the trends lah.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
Okay, thank you, moderator. Is my voice clear?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So, Hakim, regarding the trends and emerging practices, living in the digital era where technology has become one of the necessities in our life, especially someone who works in the line of entertainment industry like you once was, where you know the trends and practices are like one of the things that you need to follow through all the time. And based on my research, for the trend in PR, there are a lot of interesting trends such as digital PR, influencer marketing, artificial intelligence, machine learning, and many more. So my question would be, how do you, as a PR practitioner, stay updated with the latest industry trends and technologies, and how does this impact your strategies and approaches?
Okay. Cool. Thank you so much, Zul. Very long question. Another crisis for me. Okay. Okay. Um. All right. So okay, I think it is pretty much established that for whatever happening in the social media or digital world, we have a separate team. That we have a digital team, so they will take care of that. And I would mostly explain about the PR part and how we follow the trend and how we implement new trends, new technologies in our work. Okay. So long story short, ChatGPT is your best friend.
Yeah. Not me, not me.
Already?
Yeah.
How so?
I never use that.
We don't do that here.
Yeah, we don't do that here. We use our
uh,
brains.
okay. All right. So you know what? Based on my own research as well, because there are some colleges and some universities that I'm sorry for the smoke.
It's okay, it's okay.
Must really be
Yeah.
windy there.
Yeah, it's very windy here, and I'm still sweating because of the crisis. Okay. So then, all right. So I was saying, so we have a digital team for that, and then so ChatGPT here, you must know how to um, give instruction to ChatGPT. Okay, the command. Okay, how we write the command is the key to using ChatGPT. Right. So normally, what I would do is, for example, if I have no idea how to write a press release, I would type in the ChatGPT, please write me a press release on the topic, um, based on these details below. So I would put a point form A, B, C, D, whatever sampai habis. Okay. So point A is what, the background of the issue. B is the solution of the issue. C is how we counter the issue or how we solve the issue. And D is basically our management quotes. So, for example, our CEO would say, I'm very thankful of the collaboration between Etika and this government body, apa semua tu, because from this initiative, lots of issues were clarified, lots of societal problems what do you call it, solved. Okay, so then that follows until the conclusion of the press release. Okay, so that was in point form, and then ChatGPT would draft the whole press release with its own words, its own sentences, and but then you don't copy paste entirely to make it your own press release, because they don't understand our jargon. Okay,
Yeah.
so in,
Nice.
for example, in our entertainment industry, our jargons are different, and now I'm in the financial industry, the jargons are different.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have to make it suitable to my current industry, and of course I have to edit it a bit, but at least I do not have to crack my head from scratch to draft a press release, because I have what you call it, in BM is rangka karangan, right? So I have that already, so I can just continue drafting based on that. So I'm not teaching you how to use that for your assignment, but please do. Because it will save you a lot of time. For example, if you're not confident with confident, confident, cakap biar clear. Okay, all right. So if you're not confident with your English, you can always ask ChatGPT to check your English. For example, reword. Okay, the command would be reword or rephrase this sentences or this paragraph or this write up with a formal, for example, formal language and serious tone. Then you just paste your paragraph there, and it will check your grammar and whole thing, and then you can use that in your assignment.
I see. Actually, it's a bit surprising for me. New information also, it says the PR practitioner also use ChatGPT for their work. I
Yeah,
thought
why not? It's in the market and it's free. So it actually improves our efficiency in delivering our write-ups. For example, if you have a lot of, okay, not all companies have a lot of PR work. For example, when I was with TV3, we had 13, okay, 1 3 PR executives there. So that's a lot. And we don't have a lot of what do you call it, daily tasks, because we are plenty, okay, but in Etika we are only three. uh, so if only three, and then at the same month we have two products to launch, and then we have one CSR initiative, and then we have to make an internal announcement for our daily tasks. Tak cukup tangan weh. So
Oh.
uh, so we have to work fast, efficiently, without compromising our quality.
So I mean,
Mm.
I believe that GPT is okay for rechecking or rephrasing our work, not
Yes,
all of it, taking it as a whole.
yes. But then, like I said, don't use it. Don't copy pula. No copy. Uh, don't copy paste everything entirely. So you cannot take ChatGPT's work as your own.
Yeah.
So moving on, I have two questions actually.
Okay.
This one is about measuring impact and return of investment, or short for ROI. So my question would be, how do you, as the PR practitioner, measure the ROI of your public relations efforts and demonstrate the value to the stakeholders?
Okay. So I think this one, it is mostly similar with how I measure campaign effectiveness. Just now, if I'm not mistaken, from Afza tanya.
Yes.
Yeah. So the two methods just now that I mentioned. One is the brand health surveys, and one is the PRV report, the public
Mm-hmm.
relations value to the one yang 60,000, 180,000 to those
Yeah.
kind of things. Okay, so that is actually how we measure our the effectiveness of our initiatives, and how would we normally report it to the management is from our monthly meetings with them. So we would update them that okay, for this month, for example, in December, what kind of initiatives that we did, what CSR initiatives that we did. So then, did we issue a press release, a press kit to the media? And then, if yes, do we have any coverage from that? Do we have any written articles from the media that we can calculate as our PRV? So then we tabulate the PRV, and it would say it will be self-explanatory that okay, this particular program has this much PRV, and yes, it is effective. So that is how we communicate with the management.
I see. A little bit of follow-up questions.
Okay.
I did some research, and it is stated that a company that has higher return of investment actually have the slow return of in term of the investment itself, and vice versa.
I'm sorry. Can you
Is it?
repeat?
Sorry. Okay, so it is said that the company with higher return of investment actually has the slower returns rate, and vice versa, the lower ROI, faster returns rate. So could you clarify that? Okay.
Returns rate. What do you mean by returns rate?
What's with the face?
Hmm.
Hmm,
Tak
yeah, higher ROI, lower
Ini lah
return.
ambil gambar.
tahu tu. Nanti cuba tak komen.
Okay, never mind. Because I think because that question is quite vague. I do not quite understand that question, but what I would say that return on investment, it is actually it is based on how much do we spend for a program and how much do we get in return, right? Okay, so in the terms of PR, like I mentioned earlier, one page of Berita Harian would cost 60,000, and the PRV would be three times, triple, okay, 480. So the ROI is always positive. Okay, but then there's a catch to it because PR don't. Oh, okay, PR is all about free publicity. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
it is
Yeah.
how much publicity that we can get for free. Okay, but we don't pay for advertisement. We don't pay for editorial most of the time lah. But then since after the COVID-19, the industry has a bit shifted because businesses are impacted. So
Yes.
right now, no money, no talk. So
Yes.
they don't give free publicity anymore. Well, not most of them actually.
Mm-hmm.
So it all depends on our relationship with the media, whether they will carry our news or not. Okay, if you don't pay, they won't cover it. Easy as that. So um, that would actually impact on the ROI in the sense of, for example, our CSR events. Okay, so for our CSR events, we will always have a collaborative partner, an NGO. Well, most of it NGO lah. Okay, so NGOs would have a cheaper rate for media editorial. Okay, so for example, for a corporate rate, they would give us 60,000 per page. I mentioned earlier, but then NGO would only cost them 11,000. So that means if we give them 60,000 to the NGO, they could give us five articles, paid articles, and then all those five would times three to get our PRV. So the ROI would still be positive.
I see.
Oh, that's a tough
Thank
question.
you.
Oh, another crisis. Okay.
Thank you, Muslim, for answering the question, even though I believe you come up with the question on your own. I believe I am losing some of my brain cells right now. So before, thank you again for answering the question, and I believe that's all for my part. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Zul.
Okay. So last but not least, I have one last question for you, Hakim. So
Okay.
this question is easy, and I think you
Mm-hmm.
can, you know, brain
Goreng.
what do you say, goreng, tapi not goreng lah, just Your tips. Okay. So the question would be, what advice would you give to someone like us to build a successful career in public relations? Because
Okay, calm down.
we
Don't be nervous.
actually,
Okay,
what?
Don't be nervous.
calm down. Don't be
No,
nervous.
no, not nervous. I stutter.
Okay.
Okay. So okay, what is your advice to us when we want to pursue our career as a PR practitioner?
Okay. Um. So I would say, well, basically, I would take this opportunity to actually tell my younger self, if I have ever the chance to
Mm-hmm.
tell my younger self, is that you will not regret being a PR. Okay, because being a PR is not um, like any other profession where everything is the same from the daily task and everything. There is always new things to look up to.
Oh.
Okay, even though the program names are the same, but the process would be different. So this is like Miley Cyrus, the climb. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
it is the process that matters. Okay,
Okay. Yeah.
and then one thing that I would advise you to, if you want to be a PR, is that you have to buck up with your language skills,
Mm-hmm.
because I do not just write in English. I have to translate it in Bahasa as well. So I'm fluent in both languages. Um, okay, buck up with your what you call it, language study,
Mm-hmm.
and then you have to buck up with um, current issues.
Okay.
Current
Uh,
issues.
you must know a lot of current issues, the trends,
Mm-hmm.
what's hot and what's not in the industry and in the news generally. And if your business is a direct impact with politics, so you have to know about politics as well.
Mm-hmm.
And oh yeah, the most importantly, being a PR, you must have a thick skin. Okay,
What?
Ah,
thick skin, thick
thick skin.
skin, like Sia, you have thick skin and elastic heart. Like that.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, because okay, the reason why thick skin is because people would always blame PR for communicating something that is wrong. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
because we are the
Mm-hmm.
frontliner between the external and the internal. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
whatever mistake that we do, well, it might not be ours completely. It might be some people at the top or some people at the back communicate with us the wrong information, and we communicated that. So then,
Mm-hmm.
of course, the what do you call it? The customers would blame us first. Okay, would blame us. Would blame the no, not blame us directly, but they would blame the brand,
Mm-hmm.
and then from the brand, and then the bosses would say, PR, kenapa you cakap macam ni? I tak pernah cakap macam
Oh.
ni. Macam tu. So they would
Hmm.
always scold us first.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that is why thick skin and elastic heart.
Okay lah, insyaAllah that your advices will be, you know, we will accept it as a pembakar semangat in our future
Oh,
nanti.
one more thing. Not
Ah,
really one more thing.
okay.
Well, there are lots of things, but
Okay, sure, sure,
some
sure.
of them are.
Tell us.
Yeah, so,
Yeah.
some of them are okay. Another important thing is to know the noble title. Noble title, as in apa ni, darjat kebesaran.
Oh.
Okay,
Ah.
and then um, the salutations, that is most important. For example, if I ask you, when do you use yang berusaha and yang berhormat?
If I'm not
Okay, no,
mistaken,
no berhormat. Berhormat is for menteri. Berbahagia. Berusaha and berbahagia.
Dato Sri, if I'm not mistaken.
Wrong.
Oh, no. I thought it's
uh,
like just a salutation for anyone.
no. Okay.
Oh.
Because yang berhormat is YB. Okay. Yang berhormat is
Mm-hmm.
for Datuk Sri, Menteri, and all those. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Those are yang berhormat. And then for Perdana Menteri is yang amat berhormat. Okay.
Oh.
And then yang berbahagia and yang berusaha is the one that keeps on being confused with. Okay, yang berusaha is for non-government officials. So, for example, if my CEO were to give a speech, we have to use yang berusaha CEO.
Oh.
We cannot give yang berbahagia CEO. Cannot.
Oh.
Okay,
Hmm.
unless we have the head of department of any government official. For
Mm-hmm.
example, Kementerian Keuangan. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
dengan yang berbahagia Datuk ni. Dia Datuk, tapi sebab dia, oh, sorry, Melayu pula. But because he is the head of a government official, so we use yang berbahagia.
Okay.
So that is most important.
That's the most important.
Yes, because regardless if you are in a non-government sector or government sector, there will always be government involved. There will always be political parties involved. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
because well, I don't know why, but then of course the government controls all money in the country.
Mm-hmm.
So whatever they wanted as their ROI, they would
Mhm.
actually just jump into our program, and probably they would hijack our program. So that happens.
Oh,
It always happens.
it
So
happens.
because of that, yeah, it always happens. So because of that, we must always know which one is yang berbahagia, yang berhormat, and yang amat berhormat, yang duli yang maha mulia.
Oh, okay, yes, yes. So, okay. I see. So now we will have to, macam take this into consideration lah. So when we talk to anyone yang ada jawatan, so we can
Apply.
apply that. Okay.
Yes.
So I think that's all for the questions. So Kai, do you have any?
So for the closure, before we take a screenshot together,
Okay.
I know that you have explained a lot of things about PR, but do you have personally, or whatever message, do you have any kind of like message you want to give us as students here?
Mm-mm.
Anything about PR or maybe about life
Yes.
that you want to share?
Yep.
Okay. I would say as a student, for you guys as a student,
Mhm.
whatever you are learning in the university, you will not apply everything in real life. Okay, so I would say whatever I learned in university, it was just around 20 to 30%. In real life, it's a different thing. So you will have to learn it um, firsthand. Okay, so every mistake that you do in the industry, it is actually your very own textbook.
I see.
Okay, so you have to learn from your mistakes. So I've done a lot of mistakes that I've kena maki a lot in the past, and I wouldn't say that I'm good PR just yet, um, because I still have lots to learn. Especially I'm still rather new in the financial industry, so there are a lot of new people that I need to meet. There are a lot more jargons that I need to learn, and there are a lot more strategies, financial strategies that I need to learn as well. So as a PR, you cannot put your heads up high in the clouds. You must always be rooted to the ground, to remind yourself that you are not great. Even though you have lots of accomplishment, you are not great. Okay,
Yes. Yeah.
there is always things to learn. Even though if I were to be a lecturer ke apa ke nanti kan, I would still be learning.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's true.
So,
I suppose the key to learning being a student is humbleness and also the ability to learn, to be taught by others, right?
yes.
So we really appreciate your time. We really appreciate your words that you have given us. We'll keep that in mind, keep that in heart, and I think that's all from us. Thank
Okay.
you.
All right. So I wish you all good luck with. This is your which semester? Fifth semester.
Fifth.
So after this, you'll be going on to internship.
Intern will be on
Next year.
semester 8.
Semester.
Semester 8.
Yeah.
Banyak ni semester korang.
No. Give it lah.
Okay, so
Just
can we take a group
picture.
screenshot
Okay.
of the
Nanti ni.
Wait.
Line.
who will be taking the picture? Ainin. Okay. Everyone pose.
Okay. 3, 2, 1. Okay.
Berkilat dahi. Okay, bye.
Done? Ainin?
Okay. Okay, so is there anyone that has something to say to Hakim before we end? Syahir, Ainil, Afzal, Syarul, Zul. Maybe Zul has a question. We don't know.
I know. I just want to thank Hakim again for encouraging us to use ChatGPT. In a proper way.
Jangan perasan dik. But are you guys
Disclaimer.
are gonna interview other PR as well?
Um,
Hmm?
Are you guys are going to interview other PR as well?
I think not. Right.
Two
Yeah,
more.
because we just need to interview one PR
Yeah.
professional.
Oh, just
As a
one.
group, only one. But individually, we have to.
Find PR for each other. So,
Yeah.
for example, me and Arif will not have the same PR for our
Yes.
individual tasks.
Mm-mm.
Okay.
So
Okay.
yeah. So I think that's all, everyone. So.
All right. So thank you for having me as your chosen group PR.
Sure.
Well, I do not bore you guys, but then
No, 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 no. It's very.
It's a pleasure.
Yeah. Really.
yeah, talking to me for an hour.
Yes. 1 hour and 5 minutes. 10 minutes maybe. Yeah. It's entertaining
Yep.
and educating. Yeah.
Okay, so that's
Okay.
it. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you.
Okay.
thank
Assalamualaikum.
you.
Thank you, sir.
Assalamualaikum.
Thank you.
Yep.